High-quality craftsmanship is standard operation at Electric Power Door and has been for over 70 years.
The maximum operating pressure should be checked and adjusted when the doors are fully closed. This can be accomplished by pressing the closed solenoid valve in and adjusting the number 1 valve on the manifold until 1000 psi is achieved. Exceeding the 1000 psi operating pressure will damage the system and overload the motor. Lock the number 1 adjusting valve in place with the jam nut after the pressure has been adjusted to 1000 psi. The doors can be manually operated by opening valves on the pump manifold. Turning the F1, F2, and F3 valves counterclockwise puts the door in the manual operating mode. The door can also be manually released by opening the bleeder valves on each operator. However, using the valves on the pump is more convenient since they are normally located at floor level. Closing all 3 valves will put the hydraulic unit back in automatic mode. It is usually a good idea to operate the door 2 or 3 cycles after closing the manual valves to make sure that all the air has been removed from the system. The other valves on the manifold are used to control the operating speeds of the door. Although all of the valves have been preset at the factory, it might be necessary to adjust some of the valves to achieve optimum operation of the door. The final closing and opening speeds of the door, or cushioning speeds, are controlled by the F5 and F6 valves. Adjustments to these valves are normally made to make the door come to a slow and controlled stop. It's important to remember that the cushioning adjustment in the closing direction must be made before the cushioning adjustment in the opening direction. The easiest way to adjust the closing cushion is to close the F5 valve completely by turning it fully clockwise. After completely closing the valve, the door will come to a complete stop as soon as the multi-position limit switch is activated in the close direction. The final closing speed of the door is then adjusted by slowly turning the F5 valve in the counterclockwise direction while watching the door. A very small change in the F5 valve position will allow the door to slowly finish the closing cycle. Once the F5 valve is set, the door should be reopened to verify the closing cushion adjustment. The door should close rapidly until the limit is triggered and slowly and smoothly close completely without slamming. If the pump shuts off before the doors reach their final close position, turn the adjustment knob clockwise, a small amount on the closed shutoff relay located in the electric control box. Adjustments of time on the shutoff relay should be made until the pump runs for approximately 4 seconds after the door has reached the fully closed position. If the pump runs more than 4 seconds after the door is closed, the time on the shutoff relay can be decreased by turning the knob counterclockwise. The opening cushion is adjusted with the F6 valve. It might be helpful to remove the oil filler cap to make it easier to access the valve. The F6 valve is fully closed when it is turned fully counterclockwise. Starting the adjustment with the valve fully closed will make it easy to set the desired opening cushion speed. After completely closing the valve, the door will come to a complete stop as soon as the multi-position limit switch is activated in the opening direction. The opening speed of the door is then adjusted by slowly turning the F6 valve in the clockwise direction while watching the door. A small rotation of the F6 valve will allow the door to slowly and smoothly complete the opening cycle. After the F6 valve is adjusted, the door should be reopened to verify the opening cushion adjustment. The door should open rapidly until the limit is triggered and then slowly and smoothly stop in the full open position without racking. In some installations, it might be necessary to also change the activation point of the multi-position switches to achieve the desired cushioning effect. If the pump shuts off before the doors reach the fully open position, turn the adjustment knob clockwise a small amount on the open shutoff relay. Adjust the time until the pump runs approximately 4 seconds after the door has reached the fully open position. If the pump runs more than 4 seconds after the door is fully open, the time on the open shutoff relay can be decreased by turning the knob counterclockwise. Recheck the operation of the doors in the closing direction to make sure that the closing cushion did not change after making the adjustments to the open cushion. The doors should close smoothly and fully with the pump continuing to run for approximately 4 seconds after the doors are fully closed. The direction of operation for the door can easily be controlled from the push button station. Pressing the close button will cause the doors to move in the closed direction, but they can be immediately stopped and reopened by pushing the stop button and then the open push button. The operation of the sensing edges can be verified by pressing on the sensing edge while the door is closing. The door should immediately stop its closing motion and return to the full open position. The photo sensing eyes on the door should also be checked to make sure they cause the closing motion of the door to stop. The door should immediately move in the open direction whenever the path of the photo beam is broken. The exterior photo eyes should perform the same function as the eyes mounted on the interior side of the opening. The overall speed of the door can be controlled with the F2 valve. This valve is normally set to the fully open position at the factory to make the doors operate at full speed. The valve can be easily adjusted in the field to slow down the overall operation of the doors. This is sometimes desirable for very large or wide openings. The easiest way to set a slower operating speed is to completely close the F2 valve by turning it fully clockwise. The speed of the door can then be gradually increased by slowly turning the valve in the counterclockwise direction while the pump is operating. Once the desired speed has been achieved, the valve should be locked in place. The closing speed of the door can be adjusted independently from the opening speed by turning the F7 valve clockwise. This allows the doors to open at high speed and close at a slower speed. The F7 valve is normally set to the full speed position at the factory, and it can be adjusted in the field to slow the closing speed of the door down, especially for increased safety. The EPD factory and local sales representatives are always available to help with any of your questions regarding the installation or operation of our doors. Please feel free to call us toll-free at 1-800-346-5760 or fax us at 218-262-6478. Make sure to check out our new door developments on the internet by viewing our website at electricpowerdoor.com and email us at mail@electricpowerdoor.com. Thank you for choosing Electric Power Door.